right, so welcome day 2 of Festival Concert 1, ArTalks here at AIM Dance Summerfest 2024. And we're going to take a minute to speak with our Emerging Choreographer Fellows. So for those of you who do not know what the Emerging Choreographer Fellowship is it's a nationwide search. We submit our resumes, we submit a proposal for our work, our choreography reels, and a panel of professionals whittles that all the way down to 2 people, and those 2 people are sitting with me here tonight. So I'm going to allow you to, yes, we need to allow you. That's rude. I'm going to ask if you could introduce yourself and whatever you would like for us to know about you, like real quick, little credentials. Who are you?
Hi, my name is Rowan Januziak. I currently live in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I graduated from the University of Michigan 2 years ago with degrees in dance and exercise science.
Yes.
I'm originally from Wisconsin, but currently in Michigan, I work with the dance company called Terpsichore Collective as a dancer and also choreographer. I also work for a dance convention called Embodied Dance Conference, where I'm the event manager there. But yeah, freelance artist all over the place for sure. Also,
All over.
landscaper. If you ever need your garden done, I do that too. Yeah.
Jack of all trades.
Hello, my name is Tessa Salmone. I have a BFA in ballet from Texas Christian University. I just recently graduated from Trinity Laban Conservatoire in London with my MFA in choreography. I am originally from Houston or the suburbs, I guess, but Houston is Houston. Have done different freelance projects in Houston, danced with PDX Contemporary Ballet in Portland, Oregon for a couple seasons. Yeah, also I'm kind of a jack of all trades as well.
Yeah.
Also have a fitness background. Also have a background in grocery. If you ever need someone to crack a wheel of Parmesan, I got you.
Yes. That's what I like to hear. Can't eat the Parmesan, but I'll watch you crack it. So let's talk a little bit about the process itself, right? So we did experience tropical storm. We were out of commission. And so the residency was actually shorter than originally planned, right? So if we can talk a little bit about that idea of, it already is a condensed process. You already have approximately 10 hours with a room of strangers to come in and create something from scratch. So talk a little bit about that and the plan coming in, and then maybe about how you navigated that challenge and that shift and how you were able to figure it out and make it work.
Yeah, so this was my first time doing anything, I'd say, this fast-paced with people that I've never met. I'm sure I've done fast things before, but probably with people I know really well. So that was definitely different. I think we were both really relying on that first day as a way to get to know the dancers before we started setting work on them. So losing that first day was interesting, but I think what ended up happening for me was I came in that first day and I brought a variety of prompts and explorations, which I can maybe describe more in a second if you want, or right now. Maybe when we talk about the work, I'll bring that in.
Yeah.
But I brought in some explorations, and I think that was like fun for the dancers, but it was a little goofy. They were like, "Oh, what are we doing right now? Like, why are we eating this candy and having to dance about it?" Because they're also like, "Who's this person in the front of the room?" So we did those explorations, which I think they tapped into pretty well for us just meeting each other. And then I also brought a little bit of choreography that first day just to see how the dancers moved and to start to build something. And then based on that first day of work, my video didn't record. So I didn't get anything from their explorations besides what my brain remembered, which was okay. But that was like a way for me to see how they interacted with like the materials I brought. Like I brought a lot of props and I was like, okay, this person liked this prop and this person liked this prop. I'm interested in how they moved with that. So that's going to inform when we get to that part of the process. And then from there, I started to find my music based on, okay, what I played a bunch of different music the first day. And I was like, oh, they really like this song. So let's dance to it. Like I just came in trying to have a fun time. I think dance can be really heavy sometimes. And I was like, let's just have some fun. And so I picked the things that I felt like they gravitated towards. And I think that was a lot of fun. And we kind of just like settled into our mutual connection. I think, especially being similar in age, that was
Yeah.
helpful. Like our pop culture references being the same, things like that. I'm like, oh, you know this song, like you like this. I think that was helpful for us connecting. And yeah,
Making
it
that
ended up
connection
being a lot of
fast.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, so what it sounds like is you were able to find pathways to connect with them as quickly as possible
Exactly.
versus the process that you had originally planned.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think gravitating to, oh, this worked with them, and
Yeah.
not like pushing against what they wanted or didn't want, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so I knew this would be a challenge coming in into the work because I wanted to do the process that I developed in grad school, which I spent a whole year doing. And when I did, I started off with a like workshop guided improvisational process. And when I did that in grad school, I got to do like 3 or 4 go rounds with the dancers, and I already sort of knew them going into the process. So that trust like really developed over time. With this, it was like throwing a very intimate process at them on the first day where they don't know me, I don't know them. I tried to explain the process as best I could so it made sense and they wouldn't feel intimidated by it, but it's also definitely a different way of moving for most people because it
Right.
was a new way of moving for me before I even created it. Um, so yeah, I kind of had to pivot a little bit in the way that I gathered movement from it, to make sure that the movement would be big enough and like danceable rather than just like very small movements on the floor.
Yeah, that internal
Um,
experience.
yeah, exactly. So on the first day, because we had a bit more time than originally planned, because we extended the rehearsals to make up for time, I ended up making some choreography on the spot based off of, and I can go into this a little bit more later so it makes sense, but based off drawings that the dancers did. So I looked at their drawings and used that as like inspiration for how I felt like I could move and represent that. And the dancers did a great job of just watching me and following along and picking up whatever I created. So we made 2 phrases that way. Um, yeah, and then that afternoon, evening, into the next morning. Woo! I
After hour sessions.
Oh yeah, I racked my brain in that hotel room coming up with 6 individual solos for each dancer.
Wow.
Yeah, I watched a video of their improvisational movement, which was responding to the drawings that they created. And I pulled movements that they did that I thought like were captivating in some way and that molded and fit together and that really kind of represented their essence, I guess, as a dancer, their authenticity. Yeah, and made those phrases. So I feel like even though we didn't do as much like communicating verbally in the process, I feel like, especially by the end of it and seeing how it's going on stage, I feel like the dancers are connecting to it in a very personal way because that movement came like essentially from them. It like they can embody it because it's I mean it's theirs.
Right.
Yeah, it's theirs without it being you need to make this phrase and this
Yes.
amount of counts go. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and that would be my next question, listening to both of you and your process and how you went about it, is this idea you engaged the dancers instead of coming in and, like you said, this is what it's going to be, this is what you should do. I found listening to you, there's some similarities in that, whether they're drawing or they're tasting or they're experiencing something and reflecting on it in the moment and then pulling from them. So I guess my question is, how important is that to you as a choreographer, and kind of why is that important to you as a choreographer? Because, traditionally, we know that that's not um, always the case in the experience. I will say it is my preferred method, but kind of why, and why is that important to you?
I can go first. So I've had both experiences on the like spectrum of choreographic processes of you go into a studio, choreographer has set material, you learn it verbatim, put it on stage, done. But also been in processes where a choreographer says, I'm inspired by this word. I need you to make 8 counts based off of this word that I like. And feeling feeling or like maybe it was like a phrase or something, I don't know, but feeling very much like, why is my name not in the program as a choreographer, because I made it for you. I mean, you told me what to do, and it's like your creation, but I feel very much like a collaborator.
Yes.
Like too much like a collaborator in that process. And these past few years have been trying to find that middle ground of having the dancers feel like they're included, feeling like they're in the process. So when they go on stage, they own it and they feel like it's theirs and they can claim it, they can embody it and really be in it without them feeling like they did all of the work and didn't get credit for it. So yeah, as a choreographer, that's really important to me to find that balance of, because I think it's my responsibility to make the work. Like, if I'm going to put my name on it, like I need to be the one that's doing the work.
Yeah.
And not put all that pressure on them. They need to be comfortable on stage and confident. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the question again?
So the question is like having the dancers contribute to the process. And so you had them sense these things and move, and then you pulled from their movement to generate what you did. So kind of why is that important to you and your process?
Yeah, I think that for me, like when I watch dance, sometimes I'm like, oh, there's dance moves on the stage. Do they mean anything, or are we just dancing? And
We ain't got enough
like
time to answer that.
I know. But like I can make up really good dance moves, and I have, and there's a time and there's a place for that.
Yes.
But I think when I come into a process like thinking like concert dance stage,
Yes.
my personal like desire is to create more like dance theater work. And for me that comes from like a place of humanness. And I think like like for my like dance work, the human is always first. And so when I come into the studio, it's my concept, it's my idea, but I don't know how the dancers are going to respond. And it's important for me to know what is their experience with what I'm giving them rather than just my own individual experience. And I think specifically for this process, being informed by them was really important since I was just meeting them for the first time. But like in a longer process, I tend to use a similar scope even over like multiple rehearsals, you know, like you were saying. And when I'm in a process, I like to be collaborative in some way. I'm not someone who likes to just be told what to do all the time. So it's like, it's fun for me to engage with the work and know what I'm dancing about and why and feel connected to it in a way. Yeah. So that's important to me too.
Beautiful. So, yes, I believe we're going to have to end there because there is a concert that's going to happen, and these works are going to be seen on stage tonight. So thank you so much for giving us your time. We really appreciate it, and thank you for everything that you've been able to offer and give and provide throughout the week. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. This has been so fun. So grateful.